Hi, this is Sandra Hart. It's question and answer time, so stay with me. Our surroundings look so different at night, don't they? Like life. If there were no night, we wouldn't appreciate the day, nor could we see the stars and the vastness of the heavens above us. In living, we must take the bitter with the sweet. I honestly believe there is a divine purpose in the adversities that we encounter every day. They prepare us, don't they? They purify us. They make us ready for all good things in life that will happen from this day forward. Okay, let's get right down to it. I'm going to ask my first question, and it's from Lulu. How am I doing, and what kind of thoughts are on my mind today? Well, I am doing very well, thank you, knock on wood. As you know, if you follow me, in November, I went to the Cleveland Clinic for a radio frequency ablation. That's where they go in with a catheter, through your veins. But I had an arrhythmia in my heart that didn't seem to be under control, and the doctors here in Florida 2 times tried to go in and correct it, but they only made it worse. So I went to the Cleveland Clinic, and I was performed on by a wonderful surgeon, Dr. Patrick Chu, and he has done a good job. So I'm feeling really well, and for the first time in many, many years, I feel free, and I really feel great. But this time of year, as you know, I live in Florida, but Arthur and I do kind of take off during the summer months because it gets really, really hot here. So I am planning on, we're both planning on leaving here for the summer, and we're going to be having a lot of nice adventures, but I will continue my blogging or vlogging here on YouTube. No matter where I am, I'll be still doing my weekly vlogs. So that's it. Thank you, Lulu, for asking that question. And question number 2 is, how do I deal mentally with aging? And this comes from B. Clark. Well, do you know, B, and this is an honest answer, I know I'm getting older, but I just don't think about it that much. I really don't, because inside I feel like I'm 40 years old. On the outside, I know I don't look like I'm 40, but I have never stopped things that I'm doing. I've never stopped my interests, and I've never stopped and thought, gee, I'm old and I won't be able to do those things anymore. Once in a while you do kind of think about the time clock and maybe that it's getting shorter. But I really don't think about it. And because I am not hung up on physical appearance, I know that I don't look like I'm 40. I know that I look like an 80-year-old woman, but I know that that's reality, and I just want to be happy and fulfilled and doing everything that I want to do in life as much as I want to do and get all those bucket list things checked off. But I really, in this country, think that maybe we emphasize too much on how we look and not maybe how we feel. And quite honestly, I'm not hung up on that. I'm not. I know when I see my wrinkles, I think, well, that's what it is. I don't like it, but I don't want that to rule my life. And I don't want it to be the most important thing that I think about every day. So inside, I'm 40. I'm still doing the things that I did back then. So age is just a number, and I've always said that. So if you think young and you take care of yourself, you will be young at heart forever. And that's the most important thing, I think, anyway. All right, supplements I take. Well, I don't take a whole lot of supplements, but I do. I'm a pesca vegetarian. I don't eat red meat, and I don't eat things that would give me my proper B vitamins. So I do take B12, I take biotin, I take folic acid, and I take magnesium for my heart. I used to take CoQ10 and krill oil, but I have not been taking that lately because, I'm on a blood thinner, and I just don't want to mix supplements that may thin out my blood too much. I also take a vitamin D supplement every day, even though I live here in Florida and the sun shines most of the time. I'm always covered with sunscreen. So my body is not being exposed to vitamin D as much as it should. I try every morning to sit on the balcony in the sun, maybe for 15 minutes to get a little bit of vitamin D before I put on my sunscreen. But so I take vitamin D, and I also take something else. And a lot of people don't know about this. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not advocating that this is what you should be doing, but this is what I have done. I take strontium citrate every day. Now, strontium citrate is a bone builder. And when I had my autoimmune illness back when I was 65, I had it for 6 years, I had to take prednisone. And prednisone does leach and take away the calcium in your bones. And during that period, I had a bone scan, and they said I was just right on the line of being having osteoporosis. So I started doing a lot of research and reading, and I found this supplement, strontium citrate, and I thought, well, you know what? I'll take that for a year and see what happens. So I took strontium citrate, and you can't take it with calcium because it interferes with your calcium absorption. And so I took that, and I quit taking my calcium supplements, but I was getting calcium through my greens and other things. And when I went back the next year for my bone scan, I had the bones of a 40-year-old woman. So not only had I completely reversed the osteoporosis, but I had built bone. So I do take strontium citrate every night before I go to bed to help build my bones. But please talk to your doctor. I'm not advocating that it's right for you, but it really helped me an awful lot. So those are the only supplements I take. I get the rest of my ingredients and nutrients from my food. And if you can do that, that is the very best way to get your nutrients, and you don't have to really load up on a lot of supplements, because sometimes you overdo it, and too much is not too good either. That's what I do. All right, question number 4, best skincare cream. And this comes from Tammy. She also asked another question, and she said, is Tonic coming to Memphis? Well, Tonic happens to be my son's band. He's the lead singer and writes all the music. And I don't know if he's coming to Memphis. I mean, he's not very far away from you. He's in Nashville. But if he ever does get to Memphis, I will let you know in advance, okay? And the best skincare cream. Well, I use a couple of different things. I use Chanel Lay Lift, and I've used that for a long, long time, but it is quite pricey. But my daughter introduced me to something that is the Avon Advanced Skincare Cream. I call it the Black Pearl because it comes in a little black jar. I'm wondering if I have it here. I'll have it over in my dresser. But Avon has absolutely wonderful skincare products. But anything with hyaluronic acid, anything that is going to add moisture to your skin, I just am not an advocate of one particular kind of skin cream. But I do know that the one Avon makes is just, the price is right, and it's really, really good, and I use that a lot. But I still use my Chanel Lift also. So I really hate to recommend anything, but anything that will hold moisture into your skin. And some of you, if you use a retinol product, that also does help to stimulate your collagen, but to take away all the dead skin. To, you know, always my thing that I do is that I am always sure that I am exfoliating. I'm getting away all the dead, because we do, our cells generate, and we do have things on our skin that we really have to slough that off, and so that our product can get into the skin and we don't have all this dead stuff, you know, on our face. But that's what I do, you know. If I can think of something else, I'll let you know. But I'm just very loyal to a couple of things, and I use them all the time. I don't go bouncing around and trying different things. Hair products I use. Oh boy, that's by Susanna. She also said, do I buy clothes online? Hair products are very hard for me. I have very naturally curly hair. Here in Florida, when it gets humidity, it frizzes, and you can see today that I, you know, have a little frizz. But I use frizzies. I use products by, I think it's called Not Your Mother's. I'll put all this stuff down below. But I use everything possible that I can to try to keep the frizz away. But nothing does it 100%. It can look really beautiful inside, but the minute I go outside, if I'm outside for a long period of time, it does, you know, start to frizz a little bit. But I think the Frizzies products are really good. And not Your Mother's products also are pretty good. But that's one area where I do experiment a lot, because I have yet to find something that keeps my hair from frizzing 24/7, because I really, really have not only curly, but it is frizzy, and it's really hard. The only time it stays straight is when I go to a salon and they iron it straight, and it seems to stay a lot longer. But that's what I do. And yes, I do buy clothes online once in a while. I'll buy from Soft Surrounding. I bought from Neiman Marcus. I bought from Sundance. And but lately my go-to one is Ross, because the dress that I'm wearing now is from Ross. If I go there, they do have designer clothes, and if you have a good eye, you can look and find things that are a lot less expensive. And I have my beautiful classic stable clothes that I will keep forever. But when you buy fast fashion and you buy things that maybe next year you're going to be really tired of, I hate to spend a lot of money. So Ross is the place for me. I can find things there that are very reasonable, and then next year I can sell them on Poshmark or donate them to the Salvation Army, and I feel like that I haven't wasted my money. Okay. Oh, how do I edit my videos? Well, this may be shocking to everybody, because most of the YouTubers I know, they will have a nice camera, and they have at least one light or a ring light or something. I do everything on my iPhone. Everything. I film on my iPhone. I edit on my iPhone in iMovie. I take all of my B-roll while I'm walking around on my iPhone. So I do everything. I even have Epidemic Sound. I have an app on my iPhone, and I downloaded my music from Epidemic Sound on my iPhone through Dropbox. So I do everything with my iPhone because I do travel and I will be going to different places. And I don't want to have to drag a camera with me. And I don't want to always have my computer handy. So I have found that I can do everything from my iPhone no matter where I am. I just have one light. Of course, I put the lights on in the room, but I want to make it easy because this has to be enjoyable for me. And if it becomes too complicated, I have so much to do in my life that I just wouldn't be able to do it. So the iPhone for me, as crazy as it sounds, I have a microphone, but as crazy as it sounds, that's the answer. And as a matter of fact, my microphone is a Shure SHURR mic, and it plugs right into my iPhone, and it has a windsock on it so that if I'm out in the wind, it muffles the noise, and it's really small. I'll show you the case that it comes in. Look at this. It comes in this little tiny case. So when I travel, I just have this little tiny case. I have my iPhone, and I have a gorilla. That is the one, with the legs that you can wrap around anything, so I can put it anywhere. So that's the way I travel. Travel light. That's it. So thank you so much for asking that. And Linda asked me on my next question, 6, where is Brett? Well, for those of you who don't know, Brett is my daughter. She's a flight attendant, but she also has a YouTube channel. And Brett has really been busy lately. She's been flying in the summer. They put on more flights, and her schedule is just crazy. She was thinking she has transferred to Newark, and she was going to be moving to New Jersey, but she's decided to postpone that for a year, and she's still living in Chicago. But something very exciting has happened to Brett, and I know she's probably going to do a video on that, but she was asked by a company that's owned by Dr. Oz. They found her on YouTube, and when she was talking about her psoriatic arthritis, and so they asked her to fly to Atlanta and to film some episodes talking about her illness, doing her yoga routines. So she will let you know when those episodes are going to be up. They had a makeup artist, they treated her royally, and she had a wonderful time. And in her heart, because she has this illness, this autoimmune illness, she would like to share her experiences and her journey with her diet and a lot of things that she is trying to do to help her get through this, because she knows her job is really, really stressful as a flight attendant. She's on her feet all day. Sometimes she walks 5 miles in airports just going from one gate to the next. So, but she will be putting a video up pretty soon and probably talking about her experience with at Dr. Oz. So that's where Brett is. And I will put the link to her channel down below too. I'll do that. If you had a do-over, would you change anything? Any regrets? And this comes from Carrie. I had quite a few people ask me that, if I had any regrets. Well, when you live to be 80, you've lived a full life. You've made a lot of decisions in your life by the time I've gotten here. And I really tried to think back on that. One thing probably that I'm sorry about, when I lived in New York, I was vocalizing in the man's apartment upstairs. I heard him play the piano, and I met him in the elevator once, and he said, well, you can rehearse in my apartment. I'm gone all day. That would be fine. So he gave me the key to his apartment, and I used his piano to vocalize because I was taking voice lessons from Fred Siegel, who was a big voice coach in New York. And one night, after I'd been vocalizing, maybe for about 3 weeks up there, we were having a party. I had 2 roommates, and we were having some friends over, and there was a knock at the door. And he came to my door and he said, you know, I really would like to talk to you. And for some reason, because I was this sweet little girl from the Midwest, you know, beware of strangers, I really thought, because there was a party going on, that he was interested in more than just talking about my voice. And I was really stupid. I really was stupid, because I kind of told him that I wasn't interested and I wouldn't be coming up to his apartment anymore. And later on in page 6, and that's in the Post, and that's where all the celebrity news would be, I found out that he was Ethel Merman's manager, and he genuinely thought I had a good voice, and he was interested in me. And I basically shut the door in his face. So, big mistake, big mistake. But then when I look at my life, and we all, I think, have to think about this, about the choices we make in our lives, whether they were right or wrong, or they put you in a different direction. If I had not done that, my whole life would have gone in another direction. And who knows, maybe it would have been wonderful. I would have been a star in Broadway or whatever. But I wouldn't have married the people that I married. I wouldn't have the children that I have today. I wouldn't be here talking to you. So even though we do things that maybe change the direction in our lives, I think sometimes it's just meant to be, because I'm very happy, and I think that I've had a pretty good life. So even though that is one big regret that I did out of naivete and stupidity, maybe, my life would have gone in a different direction and I wouldn't have had walked the path that I've walked today. So we can't look back. I mean, I really am a big proponent on moving forward, having no regrets, saying, well, okay, I did that. All right, I did that. Now I'm moving on. So I've always felt that way, because otherwise, if you hang on to regrets, it really holds you back and it keeps you from completely being happy. So if you're holding on to some regret, let it go. Just let it go and think of all the wonderful things that have happened because you didn't do that. Or think of all the things that may happen in your future because you are where you are now and you can move forward. So no regrets here. Really, no regrets. And I really had to think about that very hard. Jill and Lynn both want to see a get ready with me, and I will do that in another video, I promise. My get ready with me, they're not as professional as a lot of people because I'm very light on the makeup, but I'd love to do it. I'll do a get ready with me for you. What products do I use for sagging or loose skin on face or body? That's Marsha. Well, do you know Marsha? Oh, I feel blessed because my skin is older, but I don't have a lot of sagging skin. But do you know what I attribute that to? I attribute that to doing facial exercises. I have a video on facial exercises, and I'll see if I can put a card up there or put a link down below on my video when I talk about facial exercises. My mother always used to do it, and she taught me how to do it. But sagging skin, not only as you age, you can't help it. Your skin is not the way it was when you were in your 20s or 30s or 40s. You know, our skin gets older. The cell renewal slows down. But if you keep your muscles built up under that skin, it helps give it a foundation, not only for your skin, but also your bones. So I lift weights, just 5-pound weights, and sometimes I put 2 5-pounds and do 10 pounds weight, do my muscle lifts. And if you do push-ups, hold your stomach in constantly, be aware of your stomach and your posture, and do use skin products that help keep your moisture in your skin. That does help. I use Amlactin. I use Palmer's body butter. I like that, and I can remember when I was pregnant, I'd put it on my stomach, and I really have no stretch marks, even though I've had 3 children. But I think it's because of that. So just try to drink lots of water, keep yourself hydrated, because that also helps your skin. But I think keeping your muscles toned under your skin, it does help, as I said, with your bone strength, and it also helps with your skin, because if you have good muscles and you haven't lost a lot of that muscle tone, that is a good foundation and helps your skin stay tighter. So a lot of it is physical, working out, but also you have to keep your skin moist through products that are good for your skin, and I told you a couple of them. And I know Avon too. I'm giving my daughter a lot of, but it's true. Avon has really some good body products. Just keep your skin moisturized by internally hydrating, drinking a lot of water, and on the outside using creams. Do light weights, walk. If you have steps, go up and down the steps. Anything you can do that help keep your muscles strong will help your skin also be better. But as far as stopping it, you can't, you never will. I mean, I'm getting older, my skin is not the same, and it's not as tight as it used to be, but I try really hard to take care of myself and my muscles and my body. And so it kind of is a whole package, everything. And your skin is the outside, but what you do inside also affects your skin. So if you can, just keep moving, keep exercising, try to keep your muscles strong, and that will help. But we never can, and there's no fairy tale about this. You never can stop the aging process. It's just not going to happen. My skin is not the skin, of a 40-year-old. It's just not. I accept it. I don't like it, but I'm trying to do everything I can to keep it as tight as possible. And those are ways that you can do that. Do I do a video every day? This comes from Dallas, Texas Rose. I used to do videos 3 times a week. I used to do a very short one, an impromptu one on Wednesdays. I used to do Saturdays with Sandra, which was basically just a lot of outtakes with music. But I have found that because of my busy schedule, it's easier for me just to do one once a week. And I feel that I can pay more attention and put out maybe more quality conversations with you if I just do it once a week. And I try to do 4 videos in one day. I try to. I'm not always able to do that, but if I can do 2 videos in a day, that means that I have 2 days of actually making videos. And then it takes time to get your B-roll, which is the intro that I do, and edit that and then pick the music. So it takes up maybe about 4 days of my month. But I find, because I do run a very small publishing house, I have a family. I have an 80 or 92-year-old husband, and I live in an area that I love, so I love going out to museums, concerts, and of course I spend a lot of time, talking to my children and being with friends. So the social part, I think, is really important, especially at my age. Having that community of people that you interact with is really, really important. So you are my good friends, and I can spend time with you at least once a week. And I also have more time to answer all of my comments. I try to answer every single one, because I feel that if you have taken the time out of your busy life to comment on one of my videos, you certainly deserve an answer. So as long as I can. Now, if I had 2 million subscribers, that might be kind of difficult. But at this point in my life, I really try to answer every single comment that is given to me. What do I do for fun? And was it hard making friends when you moved? Gigi. Well, Gigi, my move was gradual. Arthur and I started coming down to Florida in 1997. So we have made friends down here already, even though we leave in the summer, we have friends here. But going to a new area, I know, and I'm speaking about my daughter because she went to Chicago. She's been there, I think, 6 years now. She has not made one friend. It's very, and she's talked to other flight attendants who have transferred and had their base in Chicago, who have come from other places. When your children are grown, when I was younger and I moved to New Jersey, it was easy for me to make friends because of my children. I went to school things and I met other mothers, and I lived in a small neighborhood of 6 houses on our road, and everyone was really friendly. They all had children and we all got together. But I have found once your children move on and your adult friends retire and move other places, then it really is difficult to find and bond with closely with good friends. I have been able to bond with only two women down here, very close women that I am friends with, but they all live other places also during the summer. But when you get to be my age, the unfortunate part of life is that I have lost all of my friends except one. It's true. I've lost them all, beginning at 50 years old. So that is a reality that's really very hard, because these women that I have lost all were a part of my past. They made the journey with me from living in New York as a young girl to getting married and having children. And then through my career, they were always there, but they always knew me when. They always knew me from the very beginning. And there's something very special about that relationship that I'll never have again with anyone. So that, I think, has been the most difficult. See, I'm getting very emotional now. That has been the most difficult thing for me, is to lose all these girlfriends that were so much a part of my life. But the friends that I have now are wonderful, but there is a difference because we don't have that long history together. Still have one, though, a wonderful friend that I grew up with in Steubenville. I didn't know her that well because I was a couple of years older. But since then, we have bonded and we have shared memories that we both have together. So I'm grateful I at least have one person that I can connect with that remembers me from childhood. So that's it. But that's one of the most unfortunate things, I think, when you do grow older. And I know Arthur has lost all of his friends. He doesn't have anybody left. So that really is very, very hard. Okay, let's get off this sadness here. Okay, what do I do for fun? Well, I kind of touched on that. I go to concerts. I love to vocalize. I love to paint and write. I'm in the process of writing a book right now on fashion. So I find things to do. I love being with my husband, and we walk to the beach at night, just something simple, like taking a picnic at 4 o'clock and sitting on the beach and watching the waves and just listening to the sounds. Basic things. I do love that. But I love going to the theater here. We have a wonderful art center that has all the Broadway shows that come. So I love that. Anyway, I just love life. Okay. Claudia said, you said you took a life coach. Well, actually, Claudia, I am a certified life coach. I don't do one-on-ones with my training. I never have. I have always used my life coaching. I have done lectures on cruise ship on the Queen Mary 2, on their world cruises. I have counseled people because I am a part of the Brain and Behavior Research Foundation, and people who are attached somehow to mental illness or schizophrenia. And I life coach my children. But I've always felt, when I was on Romper Room, I felt, and when I look back, I was a life coach for these young children. I was teaching them skills in life to be happy, to be honest, to be kind, all of these things, and to feel good about themselves. So in a way, from Romper Room when I was a young woman, I'm doing the same thing, only now I'm talking to people who are older. So it's, the progression of those little children are now adults. So I feel that I love to motivate people. I love sharing my life experiences. So as a certified life coach, I feel that what I know about myself and my life and what I've been through and what I've not been through is the wonderful blessings and successes I've had in life. But all of these things do help me help other people in a way through my lectures and through speaking. But I don't take clients on one-to-one at all. I'm more interested in my writing and creative things like that I consider to be my full-time career. Oh, Stephanie. Wow, talking about Romper Room 13. Stephanie missed out on hearing her name on Romper Room. Well, do you know what? I am so sorry. This is a regret that I have, and I just thought of it, that I didn't keep my Romper Room mirror. Because if I had my Romper Room mirror, I would say, romper, bumper, stomper, boo, tell me, do. Magic mirror, tell me today, did all of my friends have fun at play? I see Stephanie out there, and I see you in your pajamas this morning, Stephanie. I'm sorry I didn't see you years ago. So, Stephanie, I saw you. And thank you so much for asking that question, or letting me know anyway that at least when you were watching, I never said your name. So for all of you out there who watch me on Romper Room and I didn't say your name, please consider from me to you that I saw you in my magic mirror. Oh, this question, I dread. I've had this question so many times, and I've had so many people talk about this and debate about this. Have I had a facelift or fillers? No. Not that it's wrong. If somebody really wants to do it, it's okay. But I have not had any fillers or Botox, or I don't use Retin A. I've never had a facelift, ever. The only thing I've ever had is my tonsils taken out and my ablation, which was just a tiny little incision in my vein. So that's it. I bless my mother. I thank my grandmother. I believe a lot of it is 80% genetics, 10% and 20% taking care of yourself, staying out of the sun, eating right, exercising. But I really think a lot of it has to do with genetics. My mother had beautiful skin. My grandmother had beautiful skin. And when I was in my 20s, even though I would, as a teenager, I'd put iodine and baby oil all over me, and I'd lay out like a pancake, in the sun. But I've stayed out of the sun. I always wear hats. But I haven't had a facelift. Honest, I cross my heart. I've never done anything. I haven't had somebody said once that I had an eye lift. I haven't had an eye lift. I've done nothing, nothing. Maybe I should have, but because I'm starting to hang. But I do facial exercises, and I just stay out of the sun. I eat right, and I have good genes. What can I tell you? I just feel like I'm a lucky duck. So thank you so much, but I know I don't look like I'm 40. I look like an 80-year-old woman, but I think maybe I've held together pretty well. And I'm going to close on that one because this video is getting to be ginormous. But I love each and every one of you. Please, thank you so much for your questions. This has been a lot of fun for me. Be good to yourself today. Do something really special. Don't forget to be kind. And of course, let's all share the love. And you know that I love you. And thank you so much for joining me and spending time with me. And if you haven't subscribed, please come along with me on this adventure if you want to. You don't have to. But it's kind of nice to be notified if you click that little bell whenever I have a video coming up. So, and I will do a get ready for me. I have an interesting one coming up whether my facial oils and what I do and whether or not they work. So take care. Have a wonderful week, and thank you so much. And I will see you soon, and know that I do love you. Have a great, great day.